is Rajesh Subramaniam from EmbedUR, CEO of EmbedUR, and he is going to talk about really this whole process of how we go through the development flow and how do we accelerate and take the friction out of developing and deploying these types of edge AI solutions. So it's all yours.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. Again, thanks to everybody who was at dinner last night. Thanks for taking the time to stop by, and it was great meeting all of you yesterday. Now, so the question I asked Matteo was planted for my presentation. So it was intentional that I asked that question, because he actually paved the way for a lot of my slides. I don't even have to talk about my slides anymore, because he said customer adoption challenges, and he also talked about engineering challenges and what do companies need to do to be able to adopt AI really quickly, okay? Barriers, if you see, is we are still early in the adoption of edge AI use cases, very early, right? And a lot of real-world examples, not that, because it's not productized yet. And it's all coming together now and in the next year or so. And taking these models and adapting them to tiny hardware or edge hardware is also an embedded engineering challenge, which again, he clearly highlighted, and I loved the way he segmented it into two ways. One, customer challenges and engineering challenges. And finally, data sets. Again, data sets become very critical if you have to implement edge intelligence. So these are the three big challenges. What are we trying to do? Now, three crucial verticals. You need models, you need data sets, and you need blueprints. So if you have, let's say if there was a place where you can go and get curated models that are actually small, scaled for your edge hardware. And imagine if you can get access to trained data sets that will help you accelerate in building a model. And imagine if you have clear blueprints that you can actually download and use to go build products. If you have all these three, then the need for educating engineers decreases dramatically. And in terms of embedded engineering challenges, you don't have that, you're not reluctant in terms of trying to adopt AI at the edge. So these are the biggest barriers to train engineers to adopt AI at the edge. So with that in mind, we introduced and launched ModelNova during the Milan TinyML Summit. Now, today, ModelNova is a site that anyone and everybody, it's open, it's for everybody. You can go to ModelNova. As of today, we have like 40 plus models, and we have 5 plus data sets, and almost 6 real blueprints that anybody can use, access, and we want to continue to build this as an open community for everybody. So everybody has access to it, and everybody can use it, everybody can deploy it, and you can go to the website, you will find details about the size of the model, the accuracy of the model, benchmarks, and the coolest thing is you can actually click on the model and go see how it will behave on your final device. You can look at it on your PC, you can look at it on your phone, and you can see what the output of the model is. So these are some of the things that we have now launched, and we are going to continue to build this model out, continue to open this up so anybody and everybody can contribute. They can also help building new models. They can also try new models. You can try it on Raspberry Pi. We're also going to have other probably reference kits available that you can quickly download and look at what your output and input is going to be. So with this in mind, and we said, how do we make this a forum where everybody has access to it, from ecosystem partners to students, to researchers and professional developers? That is when we partnered with Edge AI Foundation. And so we're going to have an Edge AI ModelNova website that everybody has access to. And these models and these data sets will be curated, will be validated, will be verified, and we will make sure these are pretty accurate in terms of how you can bring projects to life really, really quickly. So with that, let me talk about EmbedUR. We've been in business 20 years, and we started with connectivity as the core expertise. Then we started building on our AI ML ops services. Then we also have a lot of capability in terms of embedded engineering for the edge. So these are the bigger challenges that customers of ours normally face. How do you quickly adapt to new technologies? How do you quickly adopt AI? How do you quickly look at what technology is? Because there are many chipsets, there are a lot of semiconductors that everybody is introducing today with microcontrollers and NPU. And how can we give everyone a common piece of framework that can be used to deploy and accelerate model development, deployment, and product? So I'm quickly going to run through this. So we have experience in all of this. We are helping our customers currently in all these areas, bringing AI to life. I mean, that's been something that we've been doing for over the last 4 to 5 years, where we can provide all sorts of services in terms of what our customers want. Do you want specific models? Do you want data sets? We work with them, we enable them, and we accelerate product deployment. So I'm quickly going to give you an example of something that we've done. Where do I go back? So we built a use case for one of our customers. So the bigger challenge is some of the devices that you have today with NPUs and microcontrollers operate with very less memory, and they have a lot of resource constraints. And the challenge lies in how do you optimize your model? How do you optimize your software? How do you enable your end customer so that they can accelerate it? And these are the embedded engineering challenges every embedded engineer is going to face. And that is where we want to help with ModelNova. And this is one of the solutions that we have created for our customer. And this operates on an M55 MCU ARM Cortex with 8 meg of flash and 3 meg of RAM. This is a detection system where you can enroll 1,000 people without even accessing the cloud. And it'll be able to detect it. So I'm quickly going to outline, going back to Matteo's statement about how engineers are challenged by this new adoption of AI, and it's especially in the embedded world, right? So today, some of the things that you need to do to get a model onto your end device is you have to choose some sort of a pre-trained model. That's how you have to start, right? And you can take an existing model or go to GitHub, get something, and then you have to get curated data sets. You need to find a really good data set so that you can go retrain your model so that it evolves in terms of your application. Once you do that, you have to then adapt it to your platform because the model could be too large, which means you have to quantize your model. You then have to make sure that the model fits within the parameters of your resource-constrained embedded system that you're going to use. On top of that, now you need to take that and you have to optimize for memory, you have to optimize for acceleration, you have to optimize for power, and you have to build all the embedded software that goes around it. And once you get to do that, then you deploy and demo. On top of that, you need to make sure your model is secure, your model can be upgraded, and you need to make sure that overall the performance is good and the accuracy of a model is very, very high, because today you'll see a lot of POCs. It's probably 70% accurate, but it's not going to cut it, right? You need 98 to 99% accuracy. Only then can this be a predictable product that can go out to market and you can rely on the accuracy of what you're putting out for your customers. Okay, so how does Edge AI Labs ModelNova solve the problem? You go to modelnova.ai, Edge AI edgeai.modelnova.ai. You have access to pre-trained models. You have access to data sets. And you have access to actual blueprints that you can put on products right away. You just pick a model. We have 3 different types, all pre-trained, accurate, and for vision, sound, and speech. You download the model. These are already quantized. These are already validated. These are already tested. And they are ported for MCU and NPU operation. So which means you can totally rely on it being very, very accurate in terms of its ability to give you a good product. You just upload it to your hardware directly. Today, mainly Raspberry Pi, but then we are adding a lot of reference kits where you can go and download it right away. You can take any one of these 40 models and you go to the website, it will tell you what is the size of the model, how accurate it is, what is the reliability, how much power does it consume. Everything is there in the website. So once you do that, we also give you steps for engineers especially, for students, for consultants, for professionals, for even anybody who wants to try this out. There are scripts. The model is already optimized for memory, so you don't have to worry about the embedded engineering that goes with it. And it also comes with pre-processing scripts that you can deploy quickly, and you download and deploy with confidence. And at that point in time, you already have your Edge AI solution available and good to go. So we take away a lot of the pain of MLOps. We take away a lot of the pain of having to go pick a large model and then quantize it for the edge. So all that pain is gone. Today, it starts with 40 models, but our vision is we want to see 300, 400, 500 models over time in the next 2 to 3 years being available for anyone and everyone. So turn your proof of concept into a market deployable solution. Any embedded engineer who's got any issues with, okay, how do I learn AI? What should I do to make my product better? How do I go deploy my model on an NPU? And how do I accelerate it with the microcontroller? We solve that problem for you. And it's free, it's open, there's no subscription fee. It's an endeavor that we jointly worked with Edge AI Labs to make it happen for the entire community. So join the Edge AI revolution with us, contribute, help us scale it, and we only want to see this grow bigger.
Fantastic. I like the logo. It's
Thank
good.
you.
Any questions? Oh, we have Ollie with a question here.
Thanks, Rajesh, for the presentation and the contribution to the community.
Thank you.
What's in it for you? So how do you monetize for EmbedUR, this ModelNova service?
Fantastic question. So at the end of the day, you can create a POC, and you can get to that point where you've covered 80% of the job, but the last 20% is the most hardest. And that's where we want to come in and help anyone who has problems trying to productize it to be able to accelerate that. That's where we believe we can come in and help. But we have to start somewhere. We have to enable everybody so they can use the services. So if we enable, services will come. Because we are primarily services company that we are trying to help our customers accelerate product deployment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Oh, right there, right there.
So this is software, right? This is totally software. What hardware are you targeting? Do you have any targets?
So today, you can download it on a Raspberry Pi. And we are working with several of other customers, all semiconductor companies, because everybody today has a reference kit, right? If you go out there, there's a reference kit that ST Micro has, there's a reference kit that Infineon has, there's a reference kit that NXP has. Eventually, what we see is you can now have an enablement platform where you can use any of these reference kits. So anybody who wants to try it on an STM will be able to try it on an STM. But today, we're starting off with the Raspberry Pi. So all these 40 models today, you can take any one of these models, download it on a Raspberry Pi, and actually do a POC right away.
Thank you.
Much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, next.